Hello everyone and welcome back. I am sorry for not posting for a while. Honestly, I've been another round of creative burnout and honestly just having stuff going on in my life, just busy and all that fun stuff. But yeah, before we start, like, comment, and subscribe, all those fun doodads. Let me know your thoughts of this guy in the comments. So yeah, and here we have Age of the Prime's Slingshot, who is our second limb mold for the new aerial bots, obviously. And this being a very updated G1 recreation here, where, don't get me wrong, I know there's probably some planes that are blocky as all get out, but like, he's basically a rectangle with wings, like, and like a nose cone. And considering what we know of the next two limb bots, they're just going to be remolds of Air Raid and Slingshot here. So, and considering that they're both remolds and they have the same tab placement, that means that you have options, like two options technically, of where you want, of which arm you want this guy to be. And also, surprisingly, I know this is probably already known, but if this is the first video you've ever seen of this guy, they're doing a vortex, and the vortex has same placement of the ports here, meaning that they're probably going to do an Alpha Bravo from that mold. And honestly, I'd be interested, and maybe that means in the future we're going to be getting more. Considering right now how we have the current combiners in a skeleton frame where you can exchange parts of the skeleton with each other for the Scramble City, I do wonder if from Superion to like Bruticus and whatever other skeleton combiners that they make, will they be compatible with each other, not just in the skeleton frames, but in the limb bots themselves. But yeah. So, he comes with, but you know, those theoreticals aside, he comes with two blasters here, and comes with this, like, one thing of deploying landing gear, the other two back here just being molded in, and, well, he can't roll. But yeah, so let's do a comparison with my previous review and the previous aerial bot. Here we have Air Raid, and obviously going for two different jet types. I do wonder in hand if their remolds will at least look different than their current standings. I know that Skydive, I can't remember Air Raid's remold right now, but correct me in the comments. But like, I know they did some remolding back here, so that way he only has one tail fin, the wings are different, and so is the cockpit. And cockpit and maybe the wings are different on Firefly, that's his name. But yeah, so let's get this out of the way. And comparing him to the limbot of our previous skeleton combiner, that being Dead End. So Air Raid's a bit bigger, or a bit longer, mostly because he's just a jet. And yeah. And these guys are not cross-compatible in terms of the skeletons, of their like placement on the skeleton, I should say. So, yeah, that kind of sucks. But hey, maybe that's something that can be fixed in the future. So yeah, so his transformation is honestly pretty easy. If you've seen an aerial bot transformation, it's honestly just that. But first off, take off the guns, set that off to the side. Start off with what I like to do is fold the tail fin over this way. Also, do note, it's something I noticed on other copies that this part, blue part right here, tends to chip, so just be careful when you're messing with it. Fold these up, and also we can't really show off his his combined mode, unlike Air Raid, where Air Raid turns into a brick. This guy splits in half, just like Dead End and I can't remember the other one. But yeah, like he splits apart like when you press like this button right here. So yeah, open these up, fold the wings back, and then just slide it back and up. Make sure this tabs into the back, and then tab the like knees into there, and then split the legs apart. And there we have the entire bottom half all done. And honestly, the top half is a bit more interesting in my opinion in how it transforms, because this is all the arm right here. Like, this incorporates a lot more into the transformation than Air Raid, where he was just guy underneath jet. So, fold up the landing gear. You can unclip this part here, and then make sure it tabs in right there. There we go. And then we just pull the arms out, bring them down on the double hinge here, just like so. Unfold the arms, rotate them around, same thing on the other side, and then rotate the head around. And there we have Slingshot in his robot mode. And honestly, he's my favorite out of the two. Like, don't get me wrong, Air Raid is good, like generic jet bot that turns, well, robot that turns into a plane. Honestly, Slingshot here has more of an interesting transformation to me. Like, it's just so easy to do, to flip back and forth. With Air Raid here, though, it's not tedious, but not as enjoyable as Slingshot to me. Like, I like him just a little bit more. And also, here we have, compared to, is essentially not skeletal partner, but like combined mode placement like counterpart, that being Dead End here. Let's get these two out of the way. So yeah, so, and honestly, the head is a bit goofy, where his face is just all orange, and I mean, maybe the visor that is probably supposed to be in another color, or is probably supposed to be in another color because of how visors are traditionally done in Transformers. Like, it's just all orange, and it might be a different shade of orange here for where the eyes would be. But yeah, like 2 loaves of bread on the side of his face. That's what it kind of looks like, and from what I understand, the Firefly kind also takes from that as well, because I think it's, well, no, it's a new head. I thought it was just like a head that was like sandwiched together, but I don't know. We won't really know until we get it in hand. Because, don't get me wrong, promo pictures are good to assess how a figure is probably going to look in general, but in hand is honestly more preferable to me. So yeah, so again, he doesn't really come with much. He only comes with his 2 blasters here that he can fit into his hands here. Or, honestly, what I like to do, honestly, wrist blasters. Because the arms here are a bit weird, because it's like missing an entire part here, because this is meant to be the outside of the jet. So yeah, it's just honestly kind of odd, and these are pretty much the only accessories he can really hold well. He can't really hold a sword like all that convincingly, because he only has like half a hole here for some reason. It's honestly a bit weird, but hey. And sorry if you've heard that, my cat is just, he's being loud. But yeah, so let's get on to articulation. So for the head, there is just a ball joint. You can look down, can't really look up. There's something that I feel like is a little problem on this guy, is that there's no like cut in like the back of the head, if you can see. Yeah, there's no cut in the back of the head to allow him to look up. Considering these are flying guys, I would like that, but it is what it is. He has the trigger-happy hot rod shoulders, so the hinge is inside the chest instead of at the shoulder. So, but he doesn't really bonk into the side of his head, unlike some characters that get this treatment, so that's honestly pretty nice. Full rotation at the shoulder, bicep rotation, double jointed bend at the elbow thanks to transformation, and nothing at the wrist due to them being just one piece. There is a waist rotation, which can do a full 360, and also while I'm here, I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but I noticed that on my copy, this part can come off. I don't know why it can. It has like a 5mm peg for some reason, or like it's covering up the screws back here, but besides that, I honestly don't know what this is for. Like, I don't know if this is meant to be glued in, or just, like, essentially a screw cover. But yeah, that's something weird that I don't know if anyone else has noticed that. Honestly, let me know in the comments. This is odd to me. Legs can go forward that far, can go back that far, can do more than the, full splits. Thigh rotation, and 90 degrees of bend at the knee, but it doesn't really help much because the leg, like the thigh part here, isn't long enough for it to be all that great in like walking poses. And what the hell? Oh, that's just a piece of hair. That's just hair. I thought that was a crack in like the hinge joint there. But yeah, it doesn't really get that far. Honestly, compare it to like air raid here, where it looks proportional. This guy looks like he has like very short legs. Like see what I mean? Like, I know he has to do that for like transformation so that way the thighs can fit in here, but it does kind of suck. Thigh rotation, ankles can go the full 90, and technically has some toe and heel articulation thanks to transformation. Though this is more ratcheted, because it just thumps into place, while this is just a regular hinge. So, yeah, and also you got options for displaying the wings back here, considering they jet out far, and also it's nice for this figure to have some heel support, even though he doesn't really have much of a backpack. So yeah, you can like fold them forward if you want to, but honestly I feel like that doesn't help the heels back here. I feel that the wings do help hide them a bit. So yeah, honestly, if you were going for the full combiner of Superion, I honestly do say this is a really good figure regardless. So honestly, I'm probably going to get this full set. I just need to find Silverbolt somewhere for a good price, because aftermarket prices for like any of the commanders suck. But yeah, so let me know your thoughts of this guy down in the comments below. I am sorry for not posting as often as I wanted to. I'll try to keep it up, but if I go radio silent again, I am honestly sorry. But yeah, this has been my review for Age of the Prime Slingshot. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Check out some of my other videos here. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And this is me signing off. Peace.